Told you I'm leaving. I know that's hard to hear, but I want you to know a minute won't go by when I won't be thinking of you, dear. You know the midnight plane is calling my name.
Hey guys, we're Sisters Doll. I'm Brennan.
I'm Austin.
And yeah, we're here with Heavy. We're looking forward to this interview with Kris, longtime friend of ours.
Hey boys, friends indeed we are. Thanks for joining us tonight.
No, thanks for having us. Kris, means a lot. Your continued support for the scene, like locally and internationally, means a lot to us. So thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure, guys. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you and how good you guys are. Like, you've just recently premiered the music video for your latest single, "Don't Give Up on Us," only yesterday, I believe, by Heavy Mag. So I know it's early days, but how's it been received?
Yeah, it's done really well so far. We kind of did a live stream before the video dropped to sort of build the suspense and build the hype, because we really believe in this song. It's kind of been one of our favorites from the album. It is more of the ballad from the album, but yeah, so far we've got great response and a lot of good response on the video too, which is exciting. And obviously it unveils our new bass player, which was kind of the talking point at the moment. Is so obviously having Sage in there has really obviously sparked a few more people to jump on and have a look, especially people back home. Like obviously we're like, oh, Sage is in the band now. Like, this is cool. So yeah, so far so good. It's done well. And compared to the last one, which was Change, which we did last year, yeah, it's kind of on par. Probably doing a little bit better than Change actually, which is good to hear.
Nice. Now we'll get on to Sage a little bit later, but firstly, you released the audio for the song last week and then the video this week. So was that a strategic thing, or was the video just not ready in time?
No, it was a bit of a
strategic thing.
Yeah, a bit of a strategic thing.
Yeah, we thought a lot of bands and artists do it like that these days. And we thought rather than people going to the video, you know, it can affect your, you know, streaming numbers and stuff like that, because I'll just watch the video rather than going to your streaming number, or, you know, your streaming platforms and stuff. So we tried it that way, just to sort of, you know, bump up the streaming numbers a little bit, you know, and then and sort of bring more of a hype around for the music video as a separate thing. So, and
also we did it to sort of milk the song a little bit as well, you know, because once it's out there in the world, you know, it can kind of get lost in the world as well, like, of things. So it's kind of just milking that, like, you know, obviously the release of the song first, we did the show based around that, and then it was like, all right, let's do the video a week later. So yeah, and it was also a bit strategic because we didn't know how we are going to unveil Sage as well. Yeah. So like if we do the video on the same night or the same day, people would have seen that, and then it wouldn't have been the surprise for the show. So it's kind of, that was a bit play to it as well.
Nice. You mentioned earlier that it's a bit slower, I guess, than some of your normal songs. So tell us a bit about the track musically and what you're going for with it.
Honestly, there was no plan with this one. When we were demoing this song was an old song actually that I had years ago, even before we moved. It was just one that always stuck around in my head. And when we were sending demos to our producer, he was like, keep sending more. And we're like, oh. So I went back into my notes and my lyric books from like years ago, and I found this one again, and I was like, oh, I remember this one. And for some reason I remembered the chords and the melody. It just came back to me. So I was like, well, that's a start there. And then we sort of tweaked it in the studio. Actually, right in this spot where we were sitting, me and Austin mucked around, and Austin added some cool guitar parts, and it just kind of come together in the studio, like our home studio. And we're like, geez, this song's got some magic, like without it even realizing. It was like, oh, this has got some magic, this song. And then as we tweaked it a bit more, and then we took it to the studio, like we did some more tweaks in the main studio. Obviously the producer chucked in some ideas, and we pieced it together, and it just became like one of them songs that was like, it just sort of fell into place. And we're like, oh, so we didn't really plan to write it like a specific one. Kind of fell into that sort of category that worked.
Naturally happened. It was just natural.
Going by the title and the song itself, like, it sounds like the desperate cries of a crushed man, mate. Had you been dumped just before you wrote that?
Oh, it was around we moved, actually. That's when I wrote the song, because obviously I was in a relationship at the time, and we were moving, and you know, you tried to keep the relationship going, but obviously moving state, when one who's doesn't really want to do that, it's kind of like, well, you're kind of torn. It was like, I want to keep that working, but at the same time I've got my passion and my dreams that I want to follow. So it was kind of like, yeah, it was a bit of a cry. And then I sort of thought, well, it's also a bit of something like a band cry out as well, because when we did move, everyone thought we're crazy. Like, why are you moving to Melbourne? Like, we use it what for the band? What for? Like, this is you never make it sort of thing. And it was like, we're gonna keep going, like we just keep persevering and keep plugging away. And yeah, so it sort of has two meanings, even though it's based around a relationship. It's kind of got that hidden meaning of like, don't give up on us, because we're gonna just keep going until our dreams come true.
Yeah. Like, how much further is that, bro? I'd say you've had quite a few of your dreams come true so far. How much you got to go?
Oh, we always want more, really.
Yeah.
Until inside, like, obviously, yeah, we always want to do something, and obviously each year something comes up, like a decent opportunity. Like next year, like is Monsters of Rock cruise, which we were lucky enough to get on. So that kind of keeps us going for another year. Like, oh, well, we've got to keep going until then, and then obviously we're releasing the album, and then. Yeah, until the fire burns out.
But we do just enjoy doing it and love it as well. So when we do get these offers and these good opportunities and stuff, they're kind of just they're like the cherry on top. We love it anyway. Even if we don't get these big opportunities or whatever, like we'll still do it and enjoy it because we love it. So
they fucking help, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, Don't Give Up On Us is the 4th song released from an album so far, mate. So I know when you release singles, you want every one of them to reflect the album in a different sort of a way. So how does this song reflect it?
I think it shows the growth in the band. Because obviously we've it's a little bit different to what we sort of have done in the past. Like the production on it and the drumming and everything's like very big and bombastic. And even just the writing is a lot more. It's got a bit more to it. This whole album actually really just shows the growth in the band as writers, I think, because obviously before, we had some meaningful songs on the last albums that's, we did, but it was based more around, like having fun and like, but as you get older, you experience different things. And yeah, so I think it's going to show the growth. And this song in particular has probably got to show the growth of what's to come on the album, like with the more mellower songs on the album. So yeah.
You've released those 4 songs from the album. So give us 2 of them for people to listen to best represent it.
I reckon probably Prisoner,
and probably this one.
And probably this one.
Yeah,
they're a good mixture of like what's like the heavier side and then the softer side. Because we do, the album's pretty diverse. Like we actually got a lot more heavy hidden gems in the album that probably won't be a single, but I think they'll, like for the heavier rock fans, will enjoy them. There's a couple of heavy ones on there. Yeah,
some pretty fast stuff and some very guitar driven stuff and yeah, there's a lot more to come.
So. Yeah, like the ones we've probably released are the more radio-friendly sort of songs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely some hidden heavy gems on there that I hope people will enjoy once they hear them.
Yeah. So what more can you tell us about this mysterious album, guys? Like, I can't get anything out of Tim. So, what can you tell us about it?
It's a powerful album, I should say. Lyrically, it's very like obviously probably the most laid back song on the album would be probably Kiss Me. That's just very like fun pop rock.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest have all sort of got a bit more of a story to them. And a lot of highs and lows, like there's some heavy ones, there's some are written about us as a band, like the crap we've been through over the time, like what most bands experience over the time. You're getting a door open and then door slams on you, so there's some songs about that. There's some songs about love. And then there's some about like, living life and trying to, the positive meaning ones, like Change, for example, that was written about when I was going through a rough time in my personal life. So I was like, it was kind of almost like writing a song about the demons I was facing at the time. And so yeah, there's a little bit more in-depth sort of deeper songs, I think, that hopefully people will relate to. But stuff we wanted to get out.
Yeah. What I do know is that you're going to be launching it on January the 25th next year at Max Watts. So what can we expect for that show? You're going to do something crazy like play the whole album, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, we're toying things now. Like obviously the album's going to be released on the Friday and then the show's on the Saturday. So it doesn't give people long to sort of learn the songs. So it'll be a mixture. We'll probably put some of the standard Sisters Doll ones in there, but predominantly of the show will be mainly the new stuff. And then obviously from there, we'll see what songs receive well with the audience. And then obviously we'll narrow it down like future shows. But yeah, the launch show will probably feature most of the songs, all the new ones, which is exciting, but we got to we got to rehearse.
You got a few months. How about your live show, guys? Like I've seen you guys play live for fuck, that to be 15 years now, and you have always had spectacular live shows with your sparkly stuff and stuff like that. But you also want to be trying to constantly better yourself too. So how much further has your live show come?
Yeah, from when you've seen it, like I don't know when the last time you saw us, but like obviously we're always high energy and always, you know, whoever's in the audience, it's always about them. You know, we want to give them the best show, whether there's 10 people there or 500 people there. We'll always give our 110%, as you know, because you've seen us. You saw some of the early shows where we were playing to no one. Like so,
you're playing to me.
That energy's still there, and obviously, as you got older, like you know, we've accumulated some better gear over the time, and sort of just like the essence of what we used to be, like when we first started, where we fill the stage with so much stuff. It's kind of just a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more, I guess you could say, professional in certain aspects. Like we really try and like even on the weekend, last weekend, you know, we didn't take a lot of stuff, but we just always add extra stuff. Like before we used to own a lot of the stuff, but some of it broke or doesn't work anymore, or it's old and doesn't look any good anymore. So generally now we sort of hire things just for the one-off gigs. Like we'll hire extra lighting or extra effects to make that gig special. And we just sort of, I guess it's a bit more streamlined and a bit more
using things that like for gear and special effects, sort of like we use more quality now more than like quantity. Like we used to do like we'd have like real cheap lights like everywhere. You remember it? Like we have these like round faces on these big barrels that would shoot smoke out of them and stuff, and things like that. That was sort of strenuous on our bodies and stuff at the time. Like we've kind of cut back on that and using more quality things, and just filling the stage with props and whatnot. So, and you know, and like Brennan said, the energy's still there, and that's just purely because we love it and we enjoy it. Like, you know, we're not putting on a facade. It's just how we naturally feel on stage, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Cool. Now we touched on this before, but I believe your sister's Dolph family has grown by one, with your youngest brother Sage joining on bass. So, how's he fitting in? How long's this been in the pipeline for? What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, it's been in the pipeline for a while, but it was just finding the right time. Like during COVID, we really probably sat down and were like, we've got to do something. And then he wasn't really ready for these new, like with the releases as the time went on. You know, obviously we had the Kiss cruise and we had these opportunities that he just wasn't ready for at that time. So we're like, well, we can't keep delaying the process. And then I said, if we don't bring him in for this new album, like as a whole new fresh thing, you know, we're going to drop the album. I said, we probably never will bring him in. You know, it was just one of them things where like it just felt right to do it now. So we sort of gave him a deadline and said, you're doing this show, we're just going to do 5 songs as a, you know, like as your intro to the band to get on stage and get a feel. But after that you're in, and and giving him that deadline sort of gave him the push he needed, because I think he just felt like he was going to get in by default sort of thing. And it was just like, well, we sort of set a level for ourselves as a band, like to here, and he was like here, and we said, you've got to at least get to like here, you know, and then but we didn't want to throw him in the deep end for one, and then also we didn't want to bring us down a bit to sort of like people go, oh, you're a bit off tonight, the bass sounded a bit funny, whatever. Like, so it was fun in that when he's ready, and he did a great job, and it feels like we're complete, and it kind of rejuvenated us a little bit. Like it feels like we've got another 5 years in us to sort of keep plugging away.
And what about you, Austin? Have you been relegated to the triangle?
It's good. I'm happy about it, because, you know, we're getting the question all the time, you know, where's the bass player? Where's your bass player? You know, like no one gave a shit when I played bass, you know. but it's good. It was kind of like I'm handing it to Sage now, you know. I taught him everything, and he's up to scratch now. And you know, as Brennan said, it's like a new lease of life in the band now, especially with the new album coming, and it's like this new era of us. Like, you know, we're a 4-piece. It's you know, I'm excited.
And you're not the youngest in the band anymore.
No.
Now, I know your family supported you guys through everything, but surely even they can't be happy with the fact they've lost another son to rock and roll.
They're happy.
I don't know. Yeah, I think though they always thought it was going to happen, and And yeah, when now it's finally has, it's mum got emotional out of all of them because yeah, obviously she goes, he was the little boy that used to stand next to me at gigs, and now watching him on stage, she's like, oh, like it was kind of surreal, I think, for them both. But yeah, we're proud of Sage because I mean he had a lot to sacrifice when we moved. Like he was quite young, so even though it feels like he's jumping in at a time where the band's doing quite well, he's sort of had to sacrifice himself, you know. So he's paid his dues in the way of like, you know, in other ways by like
starting a new life here and starting new schools and you know like that you know he had sacrifices too. So you know he deserves it now, you know, to enjoy the bit of joy we get out of playing the music and playing live and touring and whatnot. So yeah, everyone's happy about it. It's good.
On a bit more of a serious note with that though, guys, like how's it going to change the Sisters Doll sound? Like is it going to be meatier and fatter now with the two guitars?
Yeah, because at the moment, probably for the last 2 years, we've been playing with bass in the tracks. So it started. So the bass track was recorded by Austin, all pre-recorded, and but it didn't give us much freedom to sort of extend songs or, you know, get crowd involved and stuff. It was very like regimented, like even the mess ups at the end and stuff were all to click, which we got used to and we're fine with. But it did beef our sound up when Austin jumped on guitar full time and we do the two guitars and the bass and the track. But now it just gives us a bit more freedom, and nothing beats like a live bass sound on stage. Like even just in rehearsals, like we're like, oh, we can actually hear the runs. We can actually hear
it's a lot more fuller,
you know. And we tried different things, and we're like, oh, that works now, you know. Like rather than just being completely yes, locked into that click track of the perfect bass. So yeah,
very good. And what's next for Sisters Doll, guys? You've got the Rock the Boat cruise coming up. What new music you got coming up? What can you tell us?
Yeah, so we've got Rock the Boat coming up in October. So we'll probably release our last single around that time, and then the pre-orders for the new album will be getting released soon as well. So that'll be all be able to get pre-ordered before the show. And then obviously the big show is on Saturday the 25th of January at Max Watts. So we're excited about that. So we've got a big show planned for that. And then we just recently found out we sold out our listening party. We're doing a bit of a listening party for the album for the diehard fans, so that's going to be fun, a nice intimate night with 80 odd people, which will be fun, and we're excited about that. And then we go over to America for the Monsters of Rock cruise next year, which is very exciting. And then we'll probably do a bit of an album tour of Australia when we get back and hit all the major cities, and then probably start work on the next album after that, I guess, with Sage. Yeah.
Very sweet. But in the meantime, the new single Don't Give Up On Us is out now. It's a little bit different for the boys, but it also, like you say, does show a bit of maturity, and it's a really good song, guys. So best of luck with it, and hopefully we'll catch up with you on Thursday.
Yeah, sounds good, Kris.
Chris.
Thanks again for the interview. Appreciate it.
Told you I'm leaving. I know that's hard to hear, but I want you to know a minute won't go by when I won't be thinking of you, dear. You know the midnight plane is calling